is Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and Jasmine Brand is here.
Yes, I'm here.
And Mayor Eric Adams is here as well.
I got to get me an Eric brand.
Eric Adams
And
Brand.
get you a drop from whenever you come up here so you can play it before the interview.
Right.
And we just heard some shocking news. You're getting a tattoo for the first time.
Yes. I always wanted one, and I want to get one of my mom.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
A picture
Her name
or a
or her-
name?
yeah.
A picture.
Okay.
I have a picture before she transitioned. Where I'm holding her hand, and I would like to get it like right
On your
here.
chest.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
Ooh, that sounds painful. But she's worth it. She's worth it.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Gotta take the pain. And I'm looking at the brother. He got all these tattoos.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have an artist in mind already?
No, you could tell me what's that? There was a brother that opened in Brooklyn. Did he close?
For Black, on Fulton?
Yeah.
Black Ink?
Yeah. Is he still around?
Yeah, it's still there. I just walked past there yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did.
It's right
I
by
have to call him.
Restoration.
He did something in Brooklyn when I was the Brooklyn Borough president. We did
Okay.
something. Yes, I'm going to reach out to
So
him.
he's going back to Brooklyn to get his first tattoo.
Well, that's amazing, because I don't have any. But it's good that you didn't get it younger because a lot of people regret tattoos as they get
Can
older.
they remove them?
They can remove it.
Yeah.
That's a painful
It-
process
it
as
is
well.
painful
Is
too,
it?
yeah.
All right, well, let's get to some real topics now because I saw you endorsing Kamala Harris. So, of
Yes.
course, first and foremost, we have to discuss that. Was that a surprise to you at all? Because I know they kept saying Biden was going to drop out.
Yes, and we should really take our hat off because when you reach that level and you're finishing the half, it takes a lot to say I'm going to step away. And he's just a real, true American. When you look at the tragedies that he has gone through, the loss of family members and loved ones, to still serve the country and then make the decision that for the good of the country, he decided to step aside. And then, we should understand the significance of having VP Harris.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get mixed up. Politics is substantive and it's symbolic. Yes, we have to make sure the trains run on time, but what symbols are we putting in place? Like Barack Obama just opened the door for all of us.
Right.
And now you have an African-American woman with Indian heritage. You're just going to see this energy, and she's a soror.
Yeah, she's my soror.
She's an
Okay,
AKA
okay,
too.
look at that.
Jasmine's like, wait till you see.
I was like, wait till you see how we turn out.
AKAs come
It's
out.
right.
They already bought out all the hotels in DC.
Yeah.
Getting
'Cause I live in
ready
DC,
for it,
but yeah, they already.
Yeah. So the whole Divine Nine.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Right.
It's gonna be serious.
Right. So this is significant.
And she went to HBCU too. She went to Howard.
Think about it.
It's Alpha chapter.
And that says so much that because people want to act like our HBCUs is an inferior product.
Right.
And so when you have now the president of the United States, the most powerful country on the globe, it just sends this symbol. So the stock goes up for HBCU. We produce presidents. And so I'm excited about it.
That's huge.
And trust me, she knows how to turn on the sister girl, and she knows how to, to deal with that whole corporate entity. She is a solid debater. And in 2020, when she ran for president, I endorsed her.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Right.
So this feels good for
Right,
you.
right.
Yeah.
With all the,
like
with
I
all-
told you so.
everybody in the primary that was there, I said, no, this is the one that we need to be going with.
You know, it's interesting because people will say as a VP, and I've seen people say this, she wasn't present, she wasn't doing anything. And I just want you as a person who is in the space of politics to discuss to dispel that, because a lot goes on behind the scenes, but it's not really supposed to be the VP in front of the cameras all the time.
Without a doubt. And what you don't want to do as a VP is overshadow the president. So there's a real balance. And like my DMs, all of my deputy mayors, they say, listen, Eric is the mayor. We're going to be here to take the orders and move the ball down the field and come up with ideas. But you don't want to, as a VP, it's a delicate balance.
Right.
You don't want to overshadow the president, but you need to be there to put the pieces in place. And she has done that. And some of the criticism is like, come on, give me a break. Well, I don't like the way she laughed. I don't like the way, what?
We can be so picky. People can be so finicky.
I mean,
That's
come
ridiculous.
on. Right.
They'll be like, she has a white husband. I don't know why black people are celebrating this. I've seen that.
And that's all of that, let me tell you something. We have to be honest about it. We need to have these real conversations that some of us wake up and look in the mirror, we don't like what they see, and they turn it on to people that look like them. She has a real solid credentials, And if we keep the main thing, and focus on the topics, there's always a reason not to like someone.
Right.
But let's not be creative.
Who do you think would be a good VP for her?
Some good picks out there. I don't even want to throw out names because then all of a sudden, you get on the whole committee. So I think, but there's some good folks out there.
Okay.
To do so. I don't know if the country is ready for a woman to woman.
I said the same thing. Yeah. I said it's already a very misogynistic, sexist place because there are definitely people who, even women, who are like, I don't want a woman to be president.
Think about
it.
That's
wild.
Yeah. Some people didn't want Joe Biden to win just in case Kamala had to take over.
We knew this was going to happen. That's why we didn't vote for him.
And listen, Eric Adams, you are always in the news and getting criticized. So I know you know what it's like. Is your skin nice and tough now?
Listen. Well, always well. In this business, you do the best you can, and you give it your all. And I give it my all every day. And I love being mayor of the city, helping people in the real way. And when I look at some of the stuff we're doing, when I was with those brothers up at Rikers Island, and just sitting next to them as we were rebaptized, and them seeing that, hey, this brother is sitting next to us, and saying that, hey, I am you, or what I'm doing with foster care children. People knew what was happening to foster care children when they aged out. We giving them life coaches until they're 21, paying their college tuition, and giving them a stipend. But when you look at these real things, it just, you're here for a reason. I'm continuing what David Dinkins started. It took us 30 years to get another mayor of color, and I'm going to make sure that I deliver as much as possible. From MWBEs, $6 billion in MWBEs. These are unheard of.
Affordable housing. Which is a huge situation.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like I'm always defending you to people, so I want to talk about something.
You are, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, since you brought up Rikers Island, I know one of the big topics that people have brought up about that is solitary confinement, right? And so the way that it's framed is Eric Adams. The city council wanted to get rid of solitary confinement, but you didn't want to.
I love this topic.
So I want you to explain what it is that you think should happen and what you had to say about keeping people safe, but what the whole thing with solitary confinement at Rikers Island is.
I'm so glad you did, because first of all, there is no solitary confinement in New York State. It has been banned.
Right.
And it's inhumane and barbaric to place people in solitary confinement. What people are doing is a bait and switch. They know that the term solitary confinement hits at our emotion, so they're calling what they attempted to do in solitary confinement. Y'all know there is no solitary confinement. Right. What there is called punitive segregation. And I don't care if it's in a cell or give somebody a whole room. If you slash someone in the face on the street, what do? We arrest you. We take you out of general population. If you slash someone in jail, people are saying, let them stay in the population of the prisoners. Over 80% of the prisoners people who are assaulted on Rikers Island are the prisoners. Yeah. Other prisoners are saying, yo, get Bebe Kid out of here, man. This guy is...
Not Bebe Kid.
No, I talked to somebody who was locked up, and he told me, he was like, the problem in jail is that there are people who are really violent, who do things they can't be around.
Right.
But so punitive segregation is what it is, but it's not the same as solitary
no,
confinement.
It's not.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Solitary confinement, you're placing someone in a small cell by themselves.
In the dark or something like that?
Yeah,
just
right. Not allowing them interaction, not letting them out of the cells.
Okay.
It's inhumane to do. It plays on your psyche. It can really cause real mental health issues. So you move someone in punitive segregation, you're taking them out of general population.
Okay.
Because, again, they are assaulting other inmates. And when you talk to other inmates, they'll tell you, this guy is off the charts.
Right.
You know, so that what they want to propose, two dangerous parts of this, that even the monitor is saying is dangerous. They want to propose someone slashes someone, they stay in that population. They stay in general population. That's just unsafe.
Not the best idea.
The second thing they want to propose is that when correction officers, who are predominantly black and Hispanic, almost 40-something% are women, they're saying when they transport large number of prisoners down to court, that they can't restrain them. They can sit there without any restraints at all. You will never transport a prisoner in the back of a police car without putting handcuffs on them.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are we saying to these black and brown officers that you're going to transport 12, 13, 14 people in a bus to court, and you cannot be restrained while you're going to court. People have beef up there. They want to attack other prisoners. Yeah. It's a public safety issue. So the ideal that they had was real there, but idealism collides with realism when you have to hand it out. The special monitor that's in charge of correction, they wrote a letter, said this is dangerous. You can't do this, So we can do it in a humane way, but we need to do it right.
And City Council, and you have been butting heads with City Council, and so I want to get into that a little bit. I was looking at something that Chiose posted also today, and that was about advice and consent.
Right.
Right. So can you explain to us what advice and consent is and what's going on with Eric Adams versus City Council? Because it feels like they say you override things and then they override you. So I want you to talk about that.
That's so important. Speaker Adrienne Adams, my high school classmate, is the first African American woman to be the speaker. I'm the second African American mayor. We are both in power at the same time. Unprecedented. Never has happened before in the history of the city. And we had unprecedented crises. COVID, 207,000 migrants and asylum seekers, a $7.1 billion deficit in our budget. When you look at what we have accomplished, it's remarkable. And 96% of the things that we come up against, we agree on.
Okay.
What we have done around libraries, cultural institutions, etc. But when you have an energy that, number one, people are pissed off that you got these two prominent blue-collar, working-class families that are now running the most important city on the globe. So they are trying to feed. Oh, look at them! All they're doing is we have the most women in the history of the city council. We have the most people of color in the history of the city council. So there's this belief out there that, okay, we want to show that they can't manage and govern. When you look at our successes, it's unbelievable what we have accomplished. And so there are going to be bills that we disagree on. And there are mechanisms in place that if I say I disagree on a bill, the city council, they have the power with a supermajority to override me. That's the nature of the business.
Okay.
I have the power whenever I want to put something on the charter commission. This is when you're able to tell the public, here, you want to vote on something we believe should be in our charter. I have the power to do that. So we both have different powers that allow us to navigate the politics of things. And so this advice and consent bill, what they're saying, you're elected. You're responsible for the agencies carrying out their jobs. They're saying we want to pick your commissioners. We want to pick the people who you appoint to be in charge of agencies.
Okay.
And I'm saying, hold up here. When the garbage is not picked up, people are not looking for their city council members. They're looking for the mayor. And I want to be able to go to my commissioner and say, listen, you got to get this right. If crime is going through the roof, they're not saying, okay, well, let's go to see the city council. They say, man, what are you doing about it? This has been tried before in this city, and it kept being knocked down.
Okay.
And all of these folks who are knowledgeable about government are all coming out saying, can't do that. You have tried that before historically. Everybody say it can't be that way. The mayor should pick his commissioners, and he should be responsible for those commissioners. Now, they already have authorization and improvement in two commissioners, Department of Investigation and the Corp Council.
Okay.
We have to get approval for them. Right now, we're seeing we want to put forward a Corp Council. It's being held up. Some of the council people, without even talking to who we're putting in place, are saying we don't even want to talk to him. We don't even want to sit down and speak with him.
Okay. Wow.
So imagine every commissioner becomes a jockeying back and forth, the political, and I have to run the city.
It's kind of like what the federal government's like.
Exactly.
If you think about it,
there you go.
On a different scale.
Right.
No, it's good because I think I read a lot of articles and I'm always paying attention to what's going on in New York because I'm a New Yorker for life. And so I do feel like I need to listen. And shout out to Jill downstairs. She said, could you please ask the mayor why they're not giving out tickets anymore for alternate side parking and the streets not getting clean?
Well, I don't know. I It goes to show you. I like to say we have 8.3 million New Yorkers, 35 million opinions. No matter what you do, there's other folks that say, "Why are you giving out too many
That's
tickets?"
what I said.
Yeah.
I said I'd rather not get a ticket, but she's like, "But the street's not getting clean."
No, they get. Let me tell you something. I'm going after my number one enemy, rats.
The rats. I did a whole report
terrified.
on that. By
Angela
the way,
is terrified.
no, but I do want to
I am
say,
also.
what a simple solution, right? Let's make people put their garbage
In containers.
in containers.
Yes.
By the way, one of the funniest press conferences where you came out and you rolled out the garbage can.
Whose idea was that?
They wanted 5 years to do it, and the commissioner and I and our rat czar, we said nope.
We need it right away.
Right, we're going to do it in less than 3 years.
Okay.
We're going to containerize our garbage, which is going to have a major impact on rodents.
You know how many, so when I posted that story, so many people were weighing in like, wait, hold on. What were y'all doing with your garbage before this?
Listen, it's
and I
crazy
said,
that y'all put it on the sidewalk. I'm
Right.
telling you. I'm
And
like,
I said, don't
I've never seen this before.
And I said, you actually can't be mad at the mayor for this because this has never happened before.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you what the problem is, too, also. People be stealing garbage cans.
Right.
And we used to have to write our
address on there.
on it, chain the garbage can up.
Yeah.
Now,
I chained mine up.
Yeah, see? Now, how
yeah.
do you prevent something like that? Because, you put that garbage can out, you got a nice, new, shiny garbage
yes.
can.
Somebody want that. And they want more than one garbage can, too.
Yeah, and the beauty is now that everyone will have one, then it de-incentivizes.
Oh, okay, that's true.
everybody
put an air tag on it.
Everyone has one. Right,
Yeah.
right. Put an air tag. Right. I like that.
I know. Listen, so in DC, we put ours in our bin, and then you put it in the alley, and then they come down the alley and they pick everyone's trash.
Right.
Yeah, so
I've never
we don't
seen
have alleys.
I know,
Yeah.
but I've never seen trash on it. That's wild to me.
Yeah, that's what people say when I go to European countries, and they say plastic bags. What
Right.
are y'all doing? They have bins.
Yeah.
So we're really catching up.
Yeah.
And no one thought it could be done, but we said, yes, we are. And by November, 70% of our garbage is going to be in bins.
Okay, good.
We're dropping
great.
down the cost of the bins less than the retail price. The vendor, because they got an exclusive contract, is going to lower it below retail price. And it's just going to be a game changer in unsightliness. Nothing could disrupt your day more than a rat.
Listen, I won't go to work. If I come outside as a rat, I'm sorry, I can't
know
make
what
it
I'm
in
saying?
today.
Are you serious?
Ben run across your feet, man.
She'll walk in the middle of the street because
I walk
she
in
is
the middle
terrified.
of the street because I
Yeah,
can't take it
you know
anymore.
Listen, we want to make a major impact, and we are. We are. The rat czar, we're seeing a decrease in rats and rat mitigation.
I would not want that
zone.
job.
Yeah.
I would not want that job.
It terrifies her.
Now, let's talk about these illegal cannabis shops because we saw you just shut some of those shops down, but there's still like 3,000 illegal cannabis shops. But I do want to stress the importance of shutting those shops down because guess what?
What?
You don't know what's in that
That's
weed
right.
when you're
That's
going
right.
to these shops. So
That's
discuss that initiative because it is certainly a problem. And how are you supposed to know if a shop that you're going to is illegal?
Right. Great question. When they passed the cannabis law in Albany, everyday folks just heard that it's legal, so everybody started opening shops. And you're right, about 3,000 opened. And we went back to Albany 2 years in a row. Hats off to Assemblywoman Jennifer Kamala, who really pushed this smoke out legislation to say we got to close these shops. And they gave us the power of now combining our sheriffs, who had the job only, for the most part, with police department by deputizing them. Now it's allowing us to really go and do some closing. We closed over 700.
Wow.
And what we're finding now, the community is giving us a lot of tips. Like we were able to we found $5 to $10 million over the weekend, Saturday night.
People snitching on these
right.
You better be sending them a reward. Y'all need to reward these snitches.
And that's a good idea.
We shouldn't
matter
call
of
them
fact.
snitches. That's tips. These tipsters.
Okay, yeah, these
We need to be
tipsters.
rewarding these tipsters.
He's good
I like
citizens.
that.
He's good Samaritans.
You know that to
Yeah.
turn over whatever proceeds. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know that if you've identified the place, because you're right, this stuff is laced with
Yeah, that's
any
dangerous.
and everything,
Yeah.
and it's really impacting our children. They are really focusing on young people with edibles, mushrooms, and it's really having an impact. So we closed 700. We're really finding our groove now and closing. We're going to really shut down these shops. And you know what's happening? You're seeing an increase in the profits from the legal shops.
Right.
that now they no longer have to compete with the illegal shops. But over the weekend we got a tip about a deli. We walked through this store in the back. They had a couple of $1 million of cannabis, pre-rolls, mushrooms, edibles. You got to see the stuff they have in these shops. Yeah.
What is it called when you have the fake bar in there? What is it called? We went to a cafe place and they have
like a secret room,
they had
a speakeasy.
The speakeasy for weed.
Right.
They had one in the deli.
Right. And I mean that room was connected to a couple of doors were connected, and the place we went to on Sunday morning around about 2 a.m. in the morning, it was a couple of blocks. Now on that block they had 70 311 calls from people complaining about that location.
Right.
Loud voices, noise, fights. And when you walk inside, remember those machines you have when you go into the meat market, you pull your number, you wait for your number to be called?
Yeah.
They had one in there.
Wow.
So you know how busy it was.
It was
organized.
Right.
They might as well get a license. They need to try to get a license.
You know what I'm saying?
But getting a license
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Right.
It can be expensive. It's a wait. There's a lot of things you have to qualify.
But they got some money though, clearly.
And rightfully so though.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should be able to just get a license.
Right.
And it's a process.
No,
and it's not fair for people who went through
the process
and did the process the right way.
It's not.
Now people were mad that you did Drink Champs. I saw that too.
I love Drink Champs.
Those are my guys.
Yeah.
DJ.
Wait a minute, did you drink or smoke or anything on the show?
I had a nip.
You had a nip.
What kind of drink did you have? A cognac or something?
Those are Hennessy guys.
Yes. But what are you? Is what I'm asking.
I like Tito's. I'm a Tito's guy.
Okay. So you had a little sip. Okay.
Yes. Right. And you know what? You know what the problem is that I watch. People believe when you're elected, you have to be pretentious and this perfect person. I'm trying to say to folks, no, man, stop this, man.
Right.
Like sometimes I'll be out and I'll be smoking a cigar and some Tito's, and people say, oh, you can't take a picture like that. I say, well, how the hell I can?
Right.
I smoke cigars and I drink Tito's.
A lot of politicians do that though. They'll be like, hold on, I can't have a drink in the picture.
Man, I'm not trying to play that.
1,000%.
People want authentic, real people dealing with real problems. What you see is what you get. Because if you don't try to hide who you are, then you got to be worried about somebody hiding behind the car and say, look, I got you.
Yeah.
No, I told y'all from the beginning. I am who I am, and I'm the everyday cat. Like late at night, DJ would know. Sometimes we run in late at night, and I'll see a barbershop that's closed down in the back doing some Hennessy and cooling out. I say, oh, let's fall up in there.
Oh God, they'd be like, no.
No, they welcome us in, and we sit down and engage. But that's the type of leadership we need.
I saw you said Kamala Harris should be herself.
Right.
Because a lot of times, though, I do feel like for Kamala Harris, though, with the stage that she's on, she gets a lot of unfair criticism. She's a black woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Of Indian descent, like you said also.
Right.
And people are definitely got all kinds of awful things to say about her. And so that makes it harder for her to be who she is.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know what? Haters are not going to be with you no matter how you change.
Because there's that angry black woman trope, so you can't even they be like, oh, she's angry. She's like, even how Donald Trump, you see how he's so nervous.
Right.
He does not want to debate
As he
her.
should be.
He's saying the worst things.
Right,
Probably call her dumb, and I'm like, sir,
if anybody,
you have no reason.
and you know what? If anything, he's going to energize folks.
Yes.
Because
that's what he's doing too.
When you. Listen, like I said, she could do the sister girl thing, and she could go and do the intellectual things. We wear many hats, and that's what we need. If you're going to deal with real problems, you have to be authentic about it. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping whomever comes after me, whomever falls into these other spots, corporate spots, don't abandon who you are.
Right.
For so many years, we had to talk differently, walk differently. We didn't want to be ourselves. But other folks can be themselves.
They get to, yeah.
Like the head of Goldman Sachs, he's a DJ.
Really?
Yeah, he's a DJ.
Is he a good DJ?
Well, I don't know. Something question. But he's comfortable enough in his skin to say, I want to do what I like.
Right.
Why do we have to abandon what we like? Because we want to fit in. Listen, I became the mayor. I didn't change from the day I ran for office to who I am.
Right.
I'm the same person.
And I will say that's very true. And one thing I always say about Mayor Eric Adams is he might say something that people think is crazy, but he means it. And, and sometimes also maybe a little bit of a, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But it is what it is because that's life.
Do you have regrets? And I'm not going to ask you but do you have regrets about things that you say sometimes?
Everyone has regrets. And yes, I do. Because, there's a lot of emotion here. And, you see the hypocrisy. And sometimes when you call people on their stuff, they can't handle it.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit back and you're not going to urinate on me and tell me it's rain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's awful.
Yeah. I mean, let's be clear.
Yeah.
That, there's so much hypocrisy in this game and everybody's afraid to call it. When they see it.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to do that because this doesn't last forever. There's a day when the show is over and I want to look back over and say, I was authentic with my stuff, man.
Yeah. And I got rid of the rats.
Kind of. I hired the first ever rat czar. That's a big deal.
Right.
Now, let's also talk about these upcoming elections for you because I know you're getting ready. Definitely out raising money when it comes to everybody else who has thrown their hat and formed their exploratory committees and potentially, running against you.
Right.
So let's discuss what is Mayor Eric Adams planning to do and what can you say, this is what we accomplished this term and this is what we still have to work on.
Right, no, well said. And the thing is, people are in the race. I outraised everyone that's running combined.
Okay.
When you put all of that money together.
Right. He said when you put the coins together.
Right. I outraised them. And it was important because people want to say, oh, his support is eroded. Oh, no one is with them. Folks said, listen, man, I'm donating to you, Eric, because I want people to know. I want them to see my name.
Right. Because if you hear people tell it, they're like, people do not like Eric Adams.
Right.
They'll talk about polls. He's got the lowest polling since they started doing the polls as a mayor. But you've
noise. I had the hardest decisions. Trust me, people are angry about the migrants and asylum seekers because they feel, listen, they're taking everything from us. A lot of people didn't know the facts that I couldn't stop the buses. I can't let them work. I'm required by law to feed, clothe, house, educate. And now people are starting to pick up and say, wait a minute, we didn't know that.
Right.
And that's what I hear the most from people when we're out there doing shows like these, doing town halls. I'm hearing people more and more say, wait a minute, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you cut black unemployment. Black unemployment is now below 8% for the first time since 2019.
Black and Latino unemployment.
And black and Latino unemployment. Our children outpacing the entire state in reading and math. Like I said, what we're doing with dyslexia screening. So 30 to 40% of our inmates are not going to be sitting in jail because they didn't get early diagnosis. What we're doing about food, a big thing with you, feeding our children and hospitals healthy food. Small businesses, more small businesses in the history of the city. Folks back on the subway system.
Think about it. People thought Manhattan was never going to be what it was before.
Right.
And it was, and look at it now, like all these different businesses. But I will say, I do see businesses having issues with people stealing and everything getting locked up. And what do we do about that? Because that's really tough for some businesses that even have had to close.
It's a tough issue, a national crisis that we're facing with shoplifting. All of my mayors across the country is telling me about the same thing. It's the recidivism. We have 542 people that they have been arrested 7,600 times. They have become too comfortable with going in, stealing items. We've partnered with a lot of our businesses. We started a pilot in Harlem where folks are connecting cameras right to the precinct so we can identify them. But it's a real recidivism problem. People are stealing over and over and over. Over again. And I think it's an indictment on society when you have to lock up your razor blades.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'd be like, just forget it.
I know,
don't even have time to be standing
like I had him stand the whole time. I'm like, is there something else I want to get? Can you come with me to the next aisle?
And I'm just buzzing, waiting for somebody to come.
It's usually like at Dwayne Reed.
And you can't even do self-checkout in some places anymore because people are stealing.
Yeah, no, shoplifting is a real issue. And it hurts the business. And it hurts people when they close down. We lose employees. And then Miss Jones have to get on the bus to go get her medicine. An elder was telling me in Harlem, she says, I used to be able to walk right down the block to my drugstore. Now I have to take a bus ride to my location. And so there's a lot of people that say, well, you're criminalizing the poor when you arrest them for shoplifting. And I'm not trying to buy that. You're criminalizing those who are being laid off or lose their jobs, or my seniors who have to travel far. you should not be going in and being repeated shoplifters. If there are things you need, there are mechanisms to get those things. And so it's a real problem for small businesses, and it hurts their bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had Jasmine on the train the other day to come to work. We took the train here and back. Because, I live 2 blocks from the train.
I'm like, let's just catch the train.
And sometimes it's just easier. But now I want to talk about what's being implemented, because I feel like people discuss the New York City subway like it is the worst thing.
Right,
it's dangerous.
Right.
We did have to hear a couple of sermons on the train.
We had a concert on the train.
We had a concert, definitely the drums going and everything.
Jesus on the train.
New York entertainment. That's free entertainment.
Yeah, it was a lot. I felt like we was going.
Somebody asked me for my phone number. I'm like, sir, I know you don't think I'm.
And they ask for pictures. The morning is not bad. It's the evening that's just kind of like everyone.
But that's just for me. And but anyway, I did have Jasmine on the train, and she's like, I'm gonna start doing this more frequently because it was so much faster, so much more convenient, relaxing.
And people do mind their business for the most part.
They do. They do. Think about it for a moment. We have 4.1 million daily riders. 4.1 million. We have an average of 5 felonies a day on the train.
Okay.
With 4.1 million. We have less robberies on our subway system now in the history of the city.
Oh, wow.
We had 1 month, January, where we saw a bump, and I put 1,000 new officers down there. The governor and I partnered together. July, we're going to have 6 straight months of decrease in crime in our subway system.
Right.
The problem are those with severe mental health issues.
Yeah.
You see them, and they begin to define. Then you read the stories. You believe that that's the reality. So we're getting ready to do a whole program called Scout, and we're going to really give people the help they need. Because listen, if you're yelling at yourself, unkept, walking in the cold with no shoes on, you need help.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have subscribed to this theory in this city that just ignore them, act like we don't see them. And our administration said, no, we moved over 7,600 people off our subway system and brought them in care. 1,000 are still in care. But we have taken a very forward-thinking approach that is inhumane to have people living in these conditions.
Yeah. And the other thing you guys have is now screening.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so tell me about that being implemented like this. I see AI screening to see if people have weapons.
And this is some good stuff.
How does that work?
This is some good stuff. This is not the airport type screening where you have to stop, you have to put stuff out on the table and all that good stuff. This is not that.
Because that would take forever.
Yeah.
Right. This is, you just walk through.
Okay.
And the beauty of it, if you're carrying a gun on your waist, on your ankle, or a fanny pack, it shows you exactly where the gun is. It's unbelievable technology.
So then what? And then that alerts.
Yes. There's somebody's going to be there looking at a screen.
Okay.
When people just walk through, they regular swipe your Metro card and just walk through. When you walk through these 2 columns, it will show you that, hey, it shows a little red square. Here's where a gun is carried.
Okay.
We tested it a couple of thousand times, and it
every time.
Yep.
About how many stations are going to have this initially?
We're going to start out with 1.
Okay.
We're going to grow to 5, and then it's mobile, so you can move it around.
Dope.
Yes. I clearly believe the future is going to be that these are going to be right in your turnstiles, and when people come through the turnstile, they're going to be able to pick it up. This is some great technology, and when you look at it, it's really impressive to see that square of where the gun actually is.
Do any other cities do this yet, or?
Not of my knowledge. I think we're the first that's doing it, and we have the largest subway system.
Right.
But people want to feel safe. You don't want to be on the car, on the train, somebody got a gun like that nut that shot up in Sunset Park.
Oh, my gosh. That was wild.
Yes,
Well, listen, they're saying the mayor has to go, but I know you're going to keep on coming up and
love it,
update, because we have so many things to talk to you about.
We're going to have Tito's next time when I'm here.
It's National Tequila Day. I kind of feel like we do have some tequila here.
I've never been a tequila person. But
I can't vote for you then.
I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line.
Everything else is fine, but
the beauty is, like, I love how you get down to the nitty gritty of the conversations. 'Cause a lot of people read the headlines and it turns into their reality. Man, folks ain't gonna write anything good about this administration.
A lot of things are gonna get implemented now that we're not gonna see actually the results from until later, like
Right.
talking about the AI and the trains, talking about affordable housing, talking about these development projects that are in the works. So somebody else gonna get credit for that later.
That's how,
but you know,
that's how we're thinking.
Right? That's how it goes.
That's what happened with Dinky.
And when the bad things happen, you get credit for that because you came into office during a time.
Right.
One thing I will say, one of my friends was like, the problem with the mayor is that he has a big ego. And he can't, that's what I heard somebody. You know,
You think you have a big ego?
Yes. Yes.
See?
Yes.
He said
But
yes.
but
I did not expect that.
But think about it for a moment. That people expect of us not to.
Yeah.
You better have a big ego to wake up every day and deal with 207,000
New Yorkers.
migrant seekers in New York, folks who step to you all the time. Yeah, mother told me as a child, boy, you better believe in yourself.
No, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we should be telling all of our young boys and girls, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. If I didn't believe in myself, I would have listened to the narrative that stated because you are dyslexic, you're not smart enough, you can't do this, you can't do that. You better every day you should wake up reinforcing some type of affirmation that tells you no matter what you go through, you can. Mom did that. She worked 3 jobs on her arthritic knees and never complained. She bought that little house for us in Queens, in South Jamaica, Queens. And people say, "What are you doing, Doctor? Why don't you just go on social service?" She says, "No. You know, I'm going to do this for my children." And so,
now you're going to get that tattoo on your
Yep.
chest.
Mom.
Are you going to
She always
document
there.
that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We have to see this. Listen, if you cry or something, you know.
Let it out.
if you-
Just let it out.
See, I would have
If you
been
scream-
fine until you told me it hurts. You know what I'm saying? You should have
I
told
got
me.
one, like a small one right here. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's your mom. It's just,
Okay.
she birthed you.
You got
Yeah.
it. Listen, man.
You know, now
got-
you done psych me up.
sorry.
You got this. You
Did
done
it
been
hurt?
through a lot.
Yeah, you've been through worse. Saw that. He's crazy though. So.
Yeah.
Love it. Good to see you, sister.
Well, good to see you too. I
Yes,
can't wait to
yes.
see you. I know you're gonna check back in next month.
Yes. I'm gonna come back and I'll probably be showing you my tattoo by then.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, hopefully you don't say this hurts too much. I can't finish because some people do that. That's it. All
Good to
right.
see
This
you.
way up, Mayor
All
Eric
right.
Adams.